What's going on, folks? We're back.
We're back, baby.
Chat 10 Sports, despite some reports from very reliable sources,
Yes,
we're here.
we're here.
We're still doing this thing. I'll take the L. We actually just moved houses. So the last couple weekends, we've been out of commish.
Yeah.
So,
He was in Ireland.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was in Dublin.
Dublin?
Give us a quick preview of Dublin.
Well, it was beautiful first 2 days. Got to go to Switzerland for a stopover. It's a lot of fun. That's one of the most beautiful countries I've ever seen. I got to fly in, go see the Alps for the first time. Kind of awe-shocking. I've never seen the Rockies either, so those were definitely the biggest mountains. As much as I love the old Appalachians, it was a little different.
A little larger.
Yeah, so got to do that. Got to see European Carnival, bunch of weirdos, but it was a lot of fun. Great time. Dublin was rainy. Those castles, it was beautiful. Drank a lot, ate a lot. It was wonderful.
Mr. Puerto Rico,
Just traveling, man.
adding to the passport.
Yeah, just checking and stamping.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get this thing fixed.
What is that?
Just roll with it. Someone called me on my phone. So.
Well, per usual. What are we breaking things? So, anyways, I don't know if we can like or share or comment, but when Trey gets it all fixed up, we'll do it, man.
We're on Facebook, so I'm going to
We are on the books?
Yeah,
All right,
nice.
sweet. So, per usual, comment with us, talk about it with us tonight. You got plenty of Titans Vols free agency tournament coming up.
Yeah,
What
man.
else you got, Kimmy?
Share with your friends. Tell a friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we need to go ahead and start off with a public service announcement to all Vol fans. You're not alone, and it's okay to talk about your feelings. It's 2019, and if you need a friend, man, just there's got to be at least one of your friends that's dumb enough to be a Vols fan too. So, just talk to them. Give them a little heart to heart.
Yep.
Don't hold all that in.
Never.
It's not healthy.
No.
So,
We're here to talk with you.
yeah, we're here.
we're your safe
If you
space.
just want to rant about how upset you are about the Auburn game, we're here. We're here, man.
You want to complain about officials, you want to complain about coaches, you want to complain about players,
Yeah.
fire away.
Yeah, we feel like on the insurance application it's going to be like tobacco user, Vols fan. Like
Yeah.
it should be like a question for cardiac problems.
Exactly.
It is. Well, I was actually thinking today, because free agency's, I guess it started up the 13th. It officially starts for the NFL. I know a lot of fans were getting kind of antsy as far as what's John Robinson doing, but I'm like, I'm a Tennessee Titans Vols fan. We got Atlanta Hawks, got the Grizzlies, so it's like we're just used to taking L sometimes.
We are.
You get used to it, but
Yeah.
like the guy said, share the show. I know chat10sports.com has been slower since we've been out of commission as far as posts, but NFL's going strong. Vols are going strong as far as basketball. Spring football's here. Going to be here, I think the 13th, April 13th is what we said, for orange and white games. So I plan to be there. I don't know about you guys.
I may.
Well, maybe. When is it? April?
April 13th.
If
That'd
Trey's
be cool.
going, I'm not going.
And then, of course, the NFL draft.
Only if I get press passes.
Oh,
We've got to go.
got to meet the requirements.
We've got to go to Nashville, guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Even
a
if-
party.
Even if we're just like tailgating
Yeah. We're just
a
venturing around.
long way away from the actual draft.
And from what I know the graphics that the Titans put out, it's going to be at Riverfront. So Broadway's just set up and
Coming
ready
straight
to go.
back.
That's going to be a blast.
Going to be a party. Going to be a party. Parking, Ubering,
Yeah.
no telling. I'm sure it'll draw a lot of interesting folks, but if you're going to the NFL draft in Nashville, keep an eye out for us. We might be there.
You might be better off just hitching a ride with somebody in the Vol Navy.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Just take
Might as well.
take the river the
That
whole
would
way.
be cool.
Be just as fast as getting out of downtown Nashville anytime close to that draft. So
Yeah.
It is. Let's jump right in, guys. I know first topic, we're going to talk about some Tennessee football and some Tennessee basketball. But obviously this last Saturday, Auburn took down the Vols. And, I mean, like you got, I know we talked about it a little bit before this afternoon. Me and Chase almost got into a fight. We're back to good and we're back to square even. So I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm of the party, like Kitty was saying, we're all feeling the same thing. We had a great 18-game win streak run. Had a couple games where we've lost to good teams. But here we are now. I'm frustrated as a fan for the simple sake that I want us to play to our full potential. I know, to me, it feels like Grant's carrying the team. Other guys aren't contributing like they have, I guess, in the 18-game win streak that we had during that run. Admiral is still kind of cold. I know we've talked about selfish play for some people, and then, of course, some guys are getting I know Pons has had issues as far as his injury, and then coming back and kind of being a defensive contributor there. But give me your feedback, even for everybody watching for us as well. But give us your feedback regarding the loss to Auburn.
So, in context, I mean, Auburn now ranked number 22 in today's polls. It's our lowest loss of the season as far as ranking goes. It's still a quadrant one win or quadrant one loss. So, with that coming in, it's their senior night. And once again,
Did you say quadrant run?
yeah, sure did. Labels, baby, it's what matters.
We're
It's
getting
hot.
technical.
hot. It's the hot
It
term.
is the hot term this
It
year.
is the hot term.
Sorry, go ahead. Senior night.
Senior night, they came out. Lamonte Turner again just makes me so frustrated. I wrote about it at the beginning of the season. I said, "Good Lamonte, makes us look good. He spaces the floor. He does his thing, and it's fine." But he's a way better defender than he was last year, and he's come
Right.
along. But man, he got cooked off the dribble, almost at half court. Our defense broke down many times. They got wide open 3-pointers, and that's how Auburn's going to beat you.
Yeah.
They're going to fire away, and man,
They were averaging like 35 a game.
something
Attempted
crazy.
3-pointers,
Yeah.
which is a lot.
And here we are again, Lamonte getting beat, and then he took bad shots.
One for
1 for 9.
8 from the 3-point line. Though.
Yeah. And I was telling Kibby on the way out today that I saw one from, I think it was Jimmy Himes' tweet today, said that in our 4 losses, Lamonte is 10 for 43 from 3.
Yikes.
Harsh numbers.
And see, it's frustrating because I feel like there's guys that can contribute at that type of level. I don't know. We were kind of talking. I was talking a little smack, saying that this is not a top tier team that's being made out in the media. Of course, they had a great run, but my thing I think this team really comes down to one guy, and that's Grant Williams.
Yeah.
Where it's hard to be able to, when they played Kentucky and Lexington at Rupp, it's like you shut down Grant, this team kind of gets neutralized. You force someone else to shoot or drive the lane, just doesn't happen. Now, and to Chase's credit, it's like a 15 point per game difference in the outcomes.
Yeah.
So it's like they're doing their job, but to me it's like, all right, I'm reluctant. I'm trying to be a realist. What happens whenever we hit the tournament?
Well, outside of like the UK game at home, you haven't seen both of them firing at the same time. I don't believe you have Schofield or Grant. One of the two seems to be really on. Grant's never going to be bad. He's just too smart of a player to have a really off night.
Yeah.
He gets probably the best looks of anybody we've seen maybe this year in college basketball. He's just a smart player.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like making a lot of shots and scoring at a high volume, I feel like you get one or the other.
Yeah.
But a cool stat, I don't know, I haven't fact checked this, full honesty. But apparently in the home white, the regular white jerseys is 7-0. In the throwback white jerseys, 12-0. But in the road orange, Tennessee is 8-4 this year.
8-4. Yeah.
Apparently, look good, play good, feel good.
Exactly.
That translates to that as well. No one likes the orange jerseys.
Yeah. But, to the credit, our 4 losses are a fully loaded Kansas, and we lost to what is now a top 10 team and number 1 in the SEC, LSU, by 2 points in one of the worst. This is both sides. I'm not saying we lost because of officiating. I'm saying it was just the worst officiated game. No team ever could get in rhythm because they just love to stand over there and look at that monitor.
LSU?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awful.
They love the monitor. We were getting feedback from Billis as he's right before he's about to announce another game, and he's sitting there like, this is horrendous to watch. And so there was quite a few others in the college basketball realm that were just like, why are we doing this? And so that's kind of one of those games that you're going to look back on and be like, that changed the way that we look at replays.
Right.
We've always pumped it out like, we need more replays.
Right.
That's one of those like, all right,
We talked
too
about
far.
Yeah, we talked about the sanctity of pace of play and momentum. Thayer was taken out of that arena several times. It may have helped the Vols actually how much that they went to the screen there.
I think early on, and then the last one I thought was the worst thing for us because then they got to play Baton Rouge and crank up the crowd.
Yeah.
They won the game after that, and they just kind of took off and run. It's like, damn, man.
A few comments coming in here. I know from Gavin Jones saying Bowden should have taken the shots at the end of the game, not Bone. Interesting take there.
Do not agree with that. Bone was probably the biggest hose point guard, and he's probably a top 3, top 4 point guard in the nation. He's shooting like 65% and one of the highest efficiency ratings in the country.
Take your chances with him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Craig Story comes in. Admiral needs to go back to playing inside more. We lost because of Turner, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Matt Wynn comes in. Old Chase goes to Dublin and comes back a UNC fan.
Been there since day one, baby.
I did not set that up, by the way. For the record. Herb Goni comes in saying, let's see, Urban Auburn loss. Didn't go inside to Williams enough. Same point that I think Craig was making. I want to ask this question to you guys and even everybody watching as well. But to date, how would you summarize the Vols season in one word?
For me, resilient. The reason being is we come out and we lose. Really hyped up game. That Kansas game was big time. We had the prime time spot. I think it was a 2-3, 2-4 matchup, something like that. Whenever we played them, come out, lose by 2, go on an 18-game winning streak. Beat Gonzaga, kind of take off from there. We get absolutely smoked by Kentucky. Come out, answer, and beat them by 19. The next time we play them, we lose to LSU. Come back and beat Mississippi State, and who else we beat right after that? Ole Miss. Back-to-back wins, and then that was, I guess, also the Kentucky game as well in that little mix. So get a nice little 3-game winning streak there. Get to see a shooting slump for the ages for Mr. Admiral Schofield, and then he comes back and puts up a couple 20-point performances. So
Resilient. I'm going to go with inconsistent.
Ooh.
Because I think that they are a team that could win. They could easily run straight through the bracket in March.
Yeah.
On some nights, and some nights it looks like the lights are home, but no one's home.
Right.
Like there was a couple times in the second half in that Auburn game where you saw senior players, older players, holding the ball with no sense of urgency with the shot clock running out.
Yeah.
Like, who are they? Where was Bone had one? I think Bowden had one. It was just like
Bone had a bet too. We had 30 seconds, and nobody stepped inside the 3-point line,
and nobody on the court seemed to even be aware that they were running out of time. And it's just like, what team is on the court tonight? Because that's not the team that smoked Kentucky.
Yeah,
and I mean, the big win against Gonzaga, big win against Kentucky. Like you said, that's a totally different Kansas team that they played.
Yeah.
What's the player that went out shortly thereafter?
Azubuike,
is the big man, and then they've recently lost someone else.
They lost Vic, the guy that had like 28 on us that game.
He's from Memphis.
Yeah. So
Vic Ballard
something Vic.
Yeah,
I can't remember Vic's last name, but anyways, yeah, big time scorer. 2 of their top 3, top 4 players. However you want to look at those guys.
Yeah, to me, inconsistent is close. I'm still, I guess in our conversation today, we obviously, I think everyone knows we work together, we chat at work. We try to save our conversations for the show, but sometimes we just got to have it.
Yeah.
But my thing is the media, I know a lot of guys out of Knoxville that we've had on the show, that we all follow, fans in general are just talking this team up. Great team, we had a great run. I've been called a negavol by some people. I've been called a realist. I think, and that's my perspective coming from the point of where are we trying to get to? Because I don't want to be the kid. It's like I want to go to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8 or Final Four. It's like if we're going to do this thing, I want us to focus on the championship. And I don't see that Final Four level of play. And I'll admit, I've said it before on the show. We talked about it today. I'm not a huge college basketball avid fan. These guys are way more knowledgeable about it than I am. However, in the games that you watched, it's frustrating to see them kind of play to their competition to where 1 week they blow out Kentucky, they beat Gonzaga, they barely lose to Kansas, and then here we are, we struggle and stay close throughout the game whenever you want them to take that next step and go to that next level, I guess you could say. But the word, besides consistent, is I'm not to the point of saying disappointed, but I would not be shocked, and I wouldn't bet my paycheck on them going to the Sweet 16 or even the Elite 8, which raises the second question of this point, everybody watching for us as well. The question is, so if the Vols played Gonzaga, Virginia, North Carolina, or Duke, would you bet on the Vols to win, and we'll say on all 4 of those games?
I think UVA and North Carolina to me are iffy, but I think the Vols very much so could beat Gonzaga or Duke right now.
Yeah.
Without Zion?
Without Zion.
Without Zion.
Or with Zion?
With
Zion,
that's a different
but I think
story. I'm saying right now.
Right now.
Gotcha.
Because we don't know.
Yeah, he's still.
And Duke's kind of struggling. I mean, they squeaked one out against Wake Forest the other night, right?
Yeah.
Last second kind of deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, they're roughing it with 3 first-round draft picks instead of 4.
3 of the top 5 picks. I mean, like, come on.
Instead of 4, But I think it's more of a mental thing at this point. Not having Zion, he was just such a dominant personality too.
The most dominant college basketball player I've seen in a long time.
Craig Story just said, because you are, and I think he's referring to me being a negavol. I'll take my stripes, man. I'll take my licks.
But man, it's the longest run Tennessee's ever had winning streak.
Yeah.
Undefeated at home this year, correct?
Yeah.
We have a chance to have a first-team All-American for the first time since Chris Lofton.
Yeah.
Which was, 2000 never? How long ago was that?
A long time.
Did they have a three-point line back then? No.
I don't know.
I mean, I remember Chris Lofton. He could shoot from the 10-second line, and he would make some of them too. But that's huge. I mean, there's a lot of things that, especially considering who these guys are. They weren't sought-after recruits and kind of their self-made, that work ethic, and they do seem to be really together, really care about each other.
Yeah.
On a level more than you would see, especially at like one-and-done schools.
Yeah.
So it's a good story, I think. But the play on the court hasn't matched kind of what I was. Maybe I just was way too high.
That's where I'm at.
Maybe. I mean, it was pretty hard not to be.
I was honestly a believer of 1 to 2 losses.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think there was. I didn't know how good Kentucky would be. I thought Kentucky was going to be a little worse than they were.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a very overhyped Kentucky team. And with Reed Travis, they're also another team that could go to the Final Four.
Right.
It's just, you saw what they looked like whenever they had full strength.
I think I underestimated the SEC in general this season.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
Because I know there's 3 or 4 episodes back that we talked through it, and it's like, maybe Florida. They were kind of hot at one point. But, that Kentucky, I think it might have been Auburn at the time, they were also ranked. But I think we talked about this, too, at the timing of LSU losing to Kentucky. Is that how it went?
Yeah,
and then we had
beat Kentucky.
And then we had to play Kentucky right after that.
Right.
Yeah, and we just went through 18 games, and I know we had
just got thumped.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like
Emotional
us
games.
beating Auburn, like in football.
Right.
Just the perfect storm of things. And I think that was it was a slice of humble pie because everybody after that game was like, we got no excuses. There was nothing you could say that could back up Tennessee. We just went in there and got thumped. We thought we were too good.
It's hard to say that we didn't get back on track considering they beat Kentucky by 19 points a couple weeks later. But at the same time, I don't feel like fully they've put together 2 games in a row where they just bell to bell handled business.
Well, that's the thing is I think the back-to-back Kentucky and then Mississippi State.
Yeah.
You're putting 52 and 54 points up against us.
Yeah.
But my question is, when we hit the tournament, when you have to have those consecutive games, that's the concerning part to me. And we might have a great game. And I know we went to the Georgia game at Tennessee, and again at home, it's like if we played every single game at TBA, I'd bet my paycheck on every single game.
Yeah.
But it's a concerning thing to me that, and a couple comments coming in. I know Gavin Jones mentioned that we would only win against Virginia and Gonzaga. I'm kind of at that point of those 4 games, we'd probably win 2. But then again, I don't know. I'm just kind of disappointed in the fact that we talked about it a while ago, but is this a flash in the pan for the program right now? And we talked about it, and you mentioned that we've got a couple 5-star guys coming in.
Yeah.
So the future is, it's bright, but I want us to tap into our full potential. And maybe it's a thing that we get punched in the face a couple times before the tournament, and then we turn it on right before and go into it confidently.
Yeah, but also to the point of if we played all of our games, but we go in, we won. These are all going to be neutral floor sides, of course. So when against Louisville, we lost to a fully loaded Kansas team, and fully loaded Kansas team had 7'1", 280-pound Azubuike.
Yeah.
Scary man. I know we did a great job of getting him in foul trouble, and he only played 16 minutes, but that's a lot of man to push around for 16 minutes for Grant and Admiral.
Yeah.
For Kyle, poor little guy. And then we win at Memphis. We lose by 2 to LSU and lose at Auburn on senior night. So we're not losing on these neutral floor sites.
So that was all the players that were recruits that were at the Kentucky game.
The one that we won at.
Yeah. And so you got to think how big that was.
1,
2
2,
of those have
3.
signed.
Yeah.
Walker and Josiah James are committed.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of talent up there. And I think there's a lot of football recruits in the house too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 5-star guys, 5 4-stars, and a 3-star guy. So,
And Tennessee's not used to getting that. I mean,
for basketball,
it's
Well, we've had 3 5-stars ever, something like that. Just, I think 3. That's all we had. Maybe Scotty. Who else do we have?
even Chisholm wasn't. He was a 4-star.
Yeah. We had a couple others in that little run. Pearl. But, yeah. And it's just another one. Like, if we look back, so Ken Palm's the go-to basketball analytics site. 2 most dominant runs ever in the tournament. The tournament runs. You got the 2016. This is like a measurement. So the measurement is points per possession, defensive efficiency ratings, and just your margin of victory. Kind of a combo of everything. You got the 2016 Villanova, the one that won on the last second against Carolina. We were bottled next year. So, and then the 2009 Ty Lawson, Tyler Hansborough. Those are your 2 most dominant tournament runs ever. Both those teams had 4 losses coming in. Neither one of them won their tournament championship. So, and both of them had...
History's not necessarily against us, is what you're saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like everybody looks at it like... You guys remember that unbelievable Kentucky team, like that Anthony Davis team. That's the only team that's come in the last 10 years with less than 3 or 4 losses. Less than 4 losses. And won a championship. So it's not like these guys come in and make these huge runs. Like, people forget. I mean, obviously, we're not going to remember, unless you're a huge fan. I just had to look this up today. I was like, what's most national championship teams look like coming in? Most of them look a lot like us.
There's not a whole lot of chalk when it comes to the
I
tournament.
mean, you're going to get some 1 seeds. What was that? When Carolina won, it was, your 1-2s.
What was that? Oh, Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
he brought a broom because they've been sweeping everybody. He said.
They took care of Duke this year. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I'm excited. I will say I want to see these guys, like we said, probably get their lips bloodied a little bit before the tournament, go in. And of course, the emotions. I know if there's the SEC tournament, it's in Nashville, correct?
Yeah.
So if there's a hometown, of course, Kentucky will travel. So let's see. I mean, I want to see what happens in this first part of it, just to see what we're looking at.
Yeah.
But I'm optimistic for it. But we're going to change topics here, going to Vols football. And before we do, if you're watching on Facebook and on Periscope, if you'll do us a favor and share the show, we're obviously pretty new still. We have officially 1 season of football under our belts, going through March, and then hopefully this college basketball season will be fun. Yeah. But if you're new to us, do us a favor, give us a follow on Facebook, on Twitter, and then give us a share as well. But guys,
hit those buttons.
Fun fact before we move on from basketball:
hit it.
Mike Connolly, Western Conference Player of the Week last week. Just saying.
Our slight Grizz.
Hey, we railed off three wins in a row now.
Hey, speaking of the Grizz, since the trades, since Gasol has been shipped off to Toronto, what's it been looking like? I mean,
good.
Dubs.
I think they won the trade. I do. They got younger. They got depth.
Is that biased or is that
totally?
Yeah.
I mean,
what do you think, Chase? Did they win that trade?
Man, it kind of. I don't know if they won. I think both teams kind of won in the perspective of like Mark's he's going to fit better up there. He's kind of
win now.
Yeah, their win now. Poor guy's just not going to make it down here. And then who else? They got
Valanciunas. They got Avery Bradley.
Avery Bradley's played lights out. He's played the best he's played in his all.
Daylon Wright is a great backup point guard. They got C.J. Miles is a good wing player coming off.
And then Conley's 40-point game. You said Delon had what? 28?
Yeah, Dion had like the second most, and he was like 28. He's been playing really well. Justin Holiday, they got a little bit before the trade deadline, but they've done well this year. I mean, the record will not show that.
No,
literally, I think the 3rd or 4th worst record in the league. But they have. I watched the game on Saturday. They have a exuberance of life about them.
Yeah,
they don't seem like they're just really
Go to the
pissed to
motions.
be there.
Yeah.
They seem like they're having fun playing ball again. So
Always good.
yeah,
I know for the Braves, they're in spring training now.
Really roughed it down there.
Yeah, the beautiful weather has got to be killing them. And of course, big news that we didn't cover last week, but Bryce Harper's going to the Phillies. Braves have still yet to sign or really adjust their bullpen or starting rotation for pitching, so we'll see what happens. I know what's his name? Wright? The pitcher that we got, Kyle Wright, I think that's his name, has had some highlights as far as some pitching goes in spring training, which is optimistic.
Tukey put up a good game. Tukey Toussaint had a good game today.
Tuki Toussaint. I want to say his name like croissant.
And so Fulton's not expected to be back on time. So
right.
Julio Teheran is probably going to be our
Opening day
starter.
for how many years now straight?
Good God, 7, 8. Per J.J. Hill today, his velocity has looked better throughout spring training,
Nice.
so that's good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, some Preds news. There was obviously a couple trades going down for them as well. I know they had a game. Oh man, I'm gonna embarrass my family by this, but don't know who they were playing. But they had a second period that Matthias Ekholm said if we play like we did tonight in the second period, we're going to start winning some games. So again, hopefully another Tennessee team if they can
Big
get
moves.
hot. Yeah, I mean they had. I know Brian Bull's been there for a while. Simmons from Philly came. Kevin Fiala got dealt to the Minnesota Wild, and then Steve Hartman went to Philly for Simmons, and then Onlin, I believe his name was, but had some changes, and David Poole has been known to make some moves, and then hopefully they'll brush off on John Robinson before free agency starts for the NFL. But with all that said, let's get back into the Tennessee Vols for football. Spring practice is here, straight out of the gate for everybody watching for us, Vols fans on Facebook and Periscope. What are your expectations, and what improvements do you want to see going into the orange and white game? I think off the bat and out of the gate, it's going to be offensive line.
Yeah, I just want to see some continuity. I just feel like everybody was out of place at all times, And I want to see that on the defensive side too. Just felt like I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit more quickness. Maybe not speed, quickness.
You're talking about in general or up front?
Up front, just a little bit, or I guess for the defensive front, because we had a lot of guys that
Didn't really get
they
pressure.
can go straight down.
Yeah.
But if they got outside, it's over. So that I guess continuity and also just a little bit more quickness on the defensive front 7, maybe.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see line play, both sides.
Yeah.
Looks like I think you put something in the outline. Some of those guys have put on 20 to 30 pounds.
Yeah, Pruitt went on Feinbaum the 4th, I think it was, so a week or two ago now, but he said a few guys have put on about 30 or 40 pounds
That's what you want to see.
in the last year. Yeah.
Get some meat moving. It's SEC. You need some big hog mollies up there to move
Especially
the ball.
Yeah.
With Wanye coming in and then Darnell Wright coming in, and I guess this next semester. A lot of ball to be played. I know there's talks like Trey Smith, we were just actually reading on Twitter before, that he's taking part in practice. He's doing everything but contact. Really hope that, there's also the option for him that he can redshirt this year, see where he's at medically before the 2020 season.
Yeah.
But if he were to come back, and they've had some pieces move, I know Brandon Kennedy is, I guess, the lone senior on the line, but quite a few different names that could be on just to basically change it up front on the offensive side. I actually did see, I won't name the actual source, but there's a potential controversy at quarterback.
Ooh.
Between Garantano, I know Shrout's there, and he's supposed to have kind of a big arm.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a real possibility, but I don't know how James Chaney and Garantano will mesh. But time will tell. And of course, my favorite player to watch right now is wearing Al Wilson's number 27, but big Quavaris Crouch. The guy is he looks like a junior or a senior. Yeah,
He's like an 18-year-old.
his arms are bigger than Chase's, and I'm not going to lie, but I could probably keep up with Quavaris. So I'm going to get a poster of Quavaris Crouch on my locker at work and just.
That's what you're going to have.
Yeah. He'll be my motivation.
Motivation every day, not just
No,
one day.
but he's looked fantastic, and it's exciting to see. I know Darryl Taylor's back there. They've got Juwan Jennings and videos from their media team as well. But it's exciting that we're here. I love this time of the year for NFL free agency, but also just to get the wheels kicked and get back out there and have some fun with it. So
our running backs better be licking their chops. Jim Chaney offense.
Yeah.
I hope our guys are just ready to rock and roll.
I think
They got a stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I mean, you had the recruiting class pulled up there. I think you did, Kitty, but
Yeah.
it's an exciting time. I know one note I had on here was that this last weekend, Dalzan, I'm going to have to look, Warsham actually came in and was he said it was a huge impression at Rocky Top for him. He plans to go back and have more visits for Tennessee. But you've already got 2020 quarterback Harrison Bailey, and then Dalzan is actually a 5-star receiver. I think he's out of Alabama, but that's exciting. And for a guy who had his I think the number one recruit out of Georgia, one of the better quarterback candidates and prospects coming out of Georgia at quarterback. Future's bright. I don't know how bright we're looking as far as that far ahead. I want us to be able to get the pieces in place this year, and then who knows what happens at quarterback with him coming in and Shrout, and I know Brian Maurer's out there too.
Yeah.
But
Coaching staff is in place.
it's optimistic.
They got a heck of a staff.
Got a
For
great
sure.
staff.
And we can all remember the good old 90s and early 2000s when Tennessee owned the state of Georgia recruiting-wise, and that's when they did best,
Yeah.
coincidentally. So
We'll see.
hopefully we can get back in Georgia and hit some big names.
Brad Morrison comes in just saying what improvements he'd like to see is in tackling.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge. I mean, even at linebacker, talking about Corvallis Crouch, I think if he can get some good playing time, I know what it's like to be an older guy and have a younger guy come in and kind of get some fire underneath you a little bit to maybe up your game. Let's see here.
Tuoto or whatever his name is coming
Henry
in.
Toto,
Should be
Gonna be fun. Especially orange and white. I mean, you'll be able to. I know last year's orange and white was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And hopefully this year's a step in the right direction. But like Kibby said, I mean, I'm very optimistic about the coaching staff, and there's still been more changes since even T. Martin has come on. Changes with a defensive coordinator with Scherr going to the linebackers, I think, and special teams. And Tinsley, I think is his name, the defensive coordinator. Ainsley. Okay. But coming in, going to be calling plays, but pretty excited.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
Got a lot to look forward to, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even it may not be right away, may not be next year.
Right.
Make this huge step, but man, 2 or 3 years down the road, future is very bright.
I think we're going to win 9 games.
give him 2 full recruiting cycles. 9 now, huh?
9.
We're getting higher.
I've been on. Well, we said 7 or 8. I think a couple episodes ago.
I think he said 6.
6 wins.
That's your realistic guess.
And I think I was at 7, and I think you were at 8.
I'm going to go 7 or 8. That's where
Okay.
I'll put my flag.
But not 9.
Yeah.
Not 9 anymore.
I don't know. I think orange and white's going to be, a big gauge, but I think those first 3 games, man, if we can, I think we'll win all 3, beat Florida potentially, but time will tell. But we'll see about that, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's nice to have. We're at this point in the year. Again, I'm kind of reiterating that from a second ago.
Yeah.
But excited. But next topic here, we got the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Today, we've been keeping an eye on free agency. Obviously, draft
All
is
day.
coming up. Lots has happened, and I actually just saw on Twitter a second ago that the Chiefs have a deal in place, and this is just a side note for the AFC South. But the Chiefs have a deal in place to get Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I believe, I want to say they had 3-year, $42 million contract for him.
Hey.
Great cash. Homie.
That's a pretty big signing for him. I know from the rumor was, or I guess the report today was that the Texans had offered him $9 million a year, and he opted to test free agency, which that panned out pretty well for him.
Good for him.
But as of an hour or 2 ago, the Tennessee Titans are agreeing to bring in Adam Humphries from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which we all know John Robinson has a connection there since he was there prior to coming onto the Titans staff. But we've talked about it, and if you're watching and commenting with us along here, I know it was 4 years. What was it?
36.
36 mil. 12. Well, that's a big jump. And we looked at sportstrack.com. He was making $2 million last year, and I think he was
9 this year. Yeah.
he was making 9.
Yeah, it was like 6. He was like 600,000 the year before that. So
Yeah.
went from relatively unknown to 9 mil over
Yeah.
4 years per year for 4 years.
Yeah. Did Sean Jackson go down or something that kind of helped him get a
Yeah.
little bit more? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And also just having Fitzmagic
Yeah.
kind of boosted his stats a little bit at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. And I think honestly, he and who's their tight end?
O.J. Howard.
OJ, and then
Cameron Brate.
Brate was another
Yeah.
one. I think that Jameis just kind of loved throwing those little short route guys.
Yeah.
You know, because he and Mike Evans just never they got
Right.
sometimes, and he and Deshaun never did.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons he wanted out.
Yeah, I feel bad for Mike Evans because I feel like he's just wasting away. He could be
he's-
doing so much. Like, imagine
he's
if he got
fancy.
traded to like Green Bay or somewhere.
He joked
you know,
about
just-
playing both ways this next year.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure he's athletic enough to do it, but
no one's going to let him do that.
yeah, that's too
Yeah.
much money on the table for
But
that.
yeah, I think I like the sign. I do think it's a little steep.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of money.
it is. And we were looking at his stats too, and he's averaging, let's see, 10 yards or 10.7 average per catch, 76 receptions from last year, 816 yards, 5 touchdowns, which is similar to Corey Davis. Probably a good thing to have. And the good news is he's made progressions from 2017 to 2018. But for a guy who's 5'11", 194, sounds like a little bit of a speedster, so I wonder what that means for Taywan Taylor, who's kind of that same build.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can
But
catch though.
that's kind of
That's a big key for us.
that's a lot of cash money, man.
Yeah,
But even today, I know Jonathan Cyprien has been officially released in light of Kenny Vaccaro getting signed. Good for Kenny. I think there was Titans film room on Twitter put up a clip where Patriots game, Kenny Vaccaro came down. I mean, he was going 100 miles an hour, laid out. I think it was James White, but it was kind of, in my opinion, the difference between Vaccaro, who makes that tackle, and Cyprien, who has kind of struggled at times with tackling.
Yeah.
It's a big upgrade there for him. I hope. Obviously, I think all three of us would say I hope the best for Cyprien.
yeah.
But Vaccaro, especially for the money, great deal.
Yeah.
We talked about it. It's kind of a
It
steal.
was a steal as far as money wise,
Yeah. He's only, 11.5 guaranteed?
Yeah.
So,
and he pairs well with Byrd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the other safety.
Yeah.
Because you
He's
want that
back
guy to bring in the hard nose hitting,
yeah.
but you also don't need to get burnt over the
Right.
top.
Yeah.
And so
he can fly around. He's good. Yeah, he's a good cover cornerback, or not cornerback, safety. So, I mean, he has all the measurables you really need, especially in DPs. So,
But yeah, there's a lot of time. I know the legal tampering started today. The 13th, I think everything becomes official for NFL teams with a lot of signings. But we were talking about it before the show as well. There's a lot of guys who are getting some stiff cash, which a lot of Titans fans might be getting antsy, wondering what John Robinson's doing. John Robinson, that I know Mike Keith has said this, and there's a reputation about him is that he is not going to overpay for a player. However, this is the time of the year where people are getting.
you might have learned that in New England.
Maybe.
yeah.
I mean, because you saw that they just let that tackle go today. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you want that? Okay, you're fine.
Oh,
you can go
he got paid as well.
play for the Raiders. That's
Yeah.
fine."
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Foles got paid. Speaking of division, he's going to the
88
Jags.
mil.
$88 million for somebody who hasn't played a full
50 mil
season.
guaranteed.
How long has it been since he played?
50 mil guaranteed.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
a lot of cash, boys.
So I'm fine with them sitting on the sidelines if this
Jags
is the
been a
type
Jag.
of yeah.
Yeah.
If this is the type of money that's being dealt out, I'm okay with them not being so active right now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
one thing today, I know, kind of feeding the antsiness and the anxiety of a lot of Titans fans is Trey Flowers goes to the Lions. I know some receivers like Deshaun Jackson's back with the Eagles, which he went for a 6th round pick this year and a 7th next year.
Yeah.
I think he just wanted to go
Yeah.
and be back in Philly. Of course, that's the Eagles, so who doesn't want to play for the Eagles?
Trey Flowers is reported. It's nothing official yet, but a 5-year deal worth between 16 and 17 per year. So
Yeah.
that's
J-Rock.
a lot of money. Like he was statistically one of the best edge rushers I think last year.
Yeah.
He was second I think in the league.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of money, and
I
that's a
know.
long contract too.
Justin Houston is a guy that everybody's talking about
Oh, yeah.
on Twitter and Titans Twitter, on Facebook even. But he's the one guy, I know when we played them in the playoffs a couple years back, he's one of those guys like Antonio Brown, which we can get off on that tangent for a little bit, but we won't. But Justin Houston is a guy that, I mean, we can talk about it if y'all want to. But, like Houston's a guy that I think you line up on offense and you say we gotta make sure that guy's taken care of. Disruptive. I mean, I think he's worth the money. I think he's 30 right now, so could he be? I know Chad Withrow. I was listening to Midday out of Nashville today, kind of comparing him to Brian Arakpo. Whenever we first signed him a few years back, time will tell. But pass rush and edge rusher is a huge need for the Titans right now.
Yeah.
Which raises, I guess, our next point we actually talked about prior to the show as well. But according to Bleacher Report, one of the needs, I guess number one need for the Titans is to address cornerback. I wanted to bring the point up because their blurb about it was saying that picking up New England's cornerback scraps has not worked out the way that Tennessee had hoped. Both Logan Ryan and Malcolm Butler dropped off since they left Bill Belichick in 17 and 18, and respectively, as many have other defenders over the years. In addition, Adoree Jackson hasn't lived up to the 2017 first-round billing. The Titans need someone who is comfortable in both man and end zone coverages as well as match and combination coverages. I don't agree.
I don't either. I mean, like we were talking about, granted, Butler at the beginning of the year was horrendous. It was terrifying to watch. Anytime it got thrown his way, it was caught by the receiver. But made the adjustment.
Yeah.
He got a lot better.
New defense, Dean Pease is new, a lot of
Yeah.
ice to be broken there, which I think has happened.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that's at all one of the main things you are wanting to address in this draft.
No.
We've talked about this a lot, but what do you want to see them address?
first round, if it's not addressed in free agency, I think it's a must to be taking some type of interior defensive lineman or edge rusher.
Yeah.
Just to give, I mean, you got Daquan Jones who just got signed, I think, a year or two ago to a good deal. Solid guy, but I want someone that's closer to Jarrell Casey's caliber of player. But even guys like, Harold Landry on the outside, Sharif Finch, young guys, a guy like Justin Houston would be fantastic to be able to kind of learn some tricks from and be able to be effective on the outside. But if it's not addressed, end of the draft, that's a must. Now, say we do sign a guy like Justin Houston. Receiver? I don't know, man. Like, we were talking about Hollywood Brown.
Late.
I could see that, but he asked me this question today, and I said second or third round, I think quarterback is a must, which I'm all about Marcus Mariota. But my thing is there's so much riding on him on this season.
Yeah.
So staying healthy and then being productive as well.
Bring in a little competition, too.
Right.
I think
Blaine Gabbert doesn't do it for you.
That's the same. I'm all on the Blaine train still.
Well, Blaine Gabbert did beat out Colin Kaepernick. I'm just saying, but
About that can of worms.
I had to throw it out.
Yeah.
I don't think the Blaine trains. Now, if we brought back the Met show, that's fuel for the
Zach
fire.
Menberger.
He's been looking good in the alliance, man.
And they almost won again this past weekend.
Almost.
He's looked good. I'm not going to say the whole team. And it is Mike Singletary as well. So got to give him a little break for that. I think Singletary's a struggle.
But no, I want to see, depending on who's left, a receiver would be a cool first-round pick. If they could sneak away Hakeem Butler from Iowa State, or, I think even like A.J. Brown's worth, to me, a first-round reach. Everybody's talking about DK Metcalf because of the viral video of him just looking freakish. And then he got, a 4.2 something at the right around 4.3 at 40.
Tom Brady has a faster shuttle time than him, too, so.
Yeah.
It's funny. I want to see
He doesn't move real well. Yeah. And you said he's just like...
Yeah, DGB.
Yeah, Darrell Green Beckham a few years back.
I sold hard on that guy, too.
I did, too. I was like, oh, dude, it is on.
But see, I'm hoping that, obviously some new blood, but it's one of those things like, guy might be a freak athlete, but at the same time, DGB's actually taken, I think, 90 days in jail as of a couple of days ago.
Solid, bro.
I was wondering what he was up to now. I guess I know.
Yeah, but actually, let me get to this real quick, hot off the press. The Colts are signing former Panthers receiver Devin Funchess to a one-year deal.
Dang.
I'm surprised. I know there was a report for the Colts that they were going to kind of play it conservatively, but they have a ton of cash.
Yeah, they've got all the
They
money.
have $100 million.
Over, I think 102, I think it is. But it's just like, be conservative, guys. Go for it and
please
save your cash. But
you guys just wait a couple years. Let Andrew Luck get out of there.
My biggest concern is them getting Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
I think, to me, with the first overall pick, or our first pick,
19.
In 19, I'm saying our first round pick, though, I think it's such a defense heavy draft that there is going to be somebody that can contribute still hanging out in the second round.
Yeah.
And that's why I think tight end or receiver or something to immediately help and bolster the offense.
I think if we do that, they're going to have to trade up in the second to try and get
somebody worth.
Like Jeffrey Simmons, I know they had a lot of love for him, they said. I know he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Man, I think my confidence in John Robinson has gone down a little bit. However, I appreciate the fact that he's kind of playing it conservative with the money aspect because a lot of dudes. And I think this first day there were so many deals and so many guys. I mean, Landon Collins, good Lord. He got money thrown at him today, which who knows what that means for Kevin Byard, because they have the same agent, Drew Rosenhaus.
Yeah,
but that guy's making.
Is he the same? Cash. Wasn't he Vicaro's agent too?
I believe.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
There's somebody put like he's the agent for this many players, and they're all due money, so it's going to be a good year for him.
Yeah, but
I'm thinking like there's a Jalen Ferguson from Louisiana Tech who's a really strong edge pass rusher. There's a couple names I think will be hanging out, but you got to think if Daniel Jones, like you said, is sitting there second round still.
Yeah, quarterback.
You got to go after him, and
he's a Cutcliffe disciple. I think, from Duke.
He's putting a lot of work with Peyton.
I don't know with Arthur Smith taking over as OC if they're going to try and find a guy. I know Tyrod Taylor's been a free agency guy that they've talked about bringing in for backup quarterback. If they're going to try and find someone who's more like Marcus, who can be mobile at times. Because I think Daniel Jones is a little bit more pocket passer.
Yeah.
Is he not? I mean, if Drew Haskins is there in the second round, man, that would be a dream.
Yeah.
He's a little bit more like a pocket passer as well. But
yeah, he's a little bit slower. I mean,
I guess him and Marcus and Blaine are a little bit more similar. I know they both can run. Let's make it's like Castle to Blaine was a big step up, but let's go to that next level where we can get somebody. That's why Tyrod's so, I think, intriguing for Titans fans is he's very similar to Marcus, but he's been able to win games and be effective in the league. But
yeah, I don't remember what he did early on. Obviously, it wasn't good enough, but when he was in Buffalo, he wasn't like he's throwing 4 or 5 picks a game. Right. That's not why he's out.
He was no Nathan Peterman.
No.
Is he still on the Raiders roster?
Yeah.
I think so.
He's on the practice squad.
Gruden loves him.
Yeah. Literally, statistically, the worst quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Hidden gem there, boys.
Yeah. Go Vols.
He's there to make the other quarterbacks feel really good about themselves.
Yeah.
That's what they hired him for.
Right.
He is a confidence booster. I see what you did there.
Look at how bad this guy is.
Yeah.
Go over and do what he just did.
Guys, if he can make
Probably Carr has like a ego issue, so they need somebody to make him.
Speaking of Antonio Brown, Raiders. I know and it was funny because, again, listening to Midday today, Paul Kaharski was talking about the reality of the fact that Antonio Brown goes to the Raiders, and 3 days ago, everybody's saying that Derek Carr's trash, but now that Antonio Brown is there,
trash.
He's more Marcus Mariota-ish, where he's been inconsistent. And
I put him there, but
now
trash.
that AB is there, he's going to go off. And
right.
I mean,
and he's got John Gruden whispering in his ear, for what that's worth.
Yeah, it's kind of the same like Sean McVay thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can go to the Super Bowl with a guy who can whisper in your ear, but Jared Goff, in my opinion, folded it in the playoff, or not the playoffs, but the Super Bowl, and that was kind of a struggle for them. But all that to say, even for the Titans' chances at getting Antonio Brown, we can see now, and even day one, they've brought in left tackle Brown from the Patriots. I mean, they've had a couple other guys sign as well, so it's one of those things. They actually traded one of their guards, I can't think of his name, was Simile or I can't think of it. But they traded him out, and I think they're actually going to have some more guys come in, move some pieces around there. But it's one of those things. I was so about Antonio Brown coming in for the simple sake of obviously having a receiver for Marcus, but the other players in the free agents market that would be intrigued by his signing to come to Tennessee. So,
yeah,
I guess that's mine.
I want to ask a question on that. So, I got this kind of put in terms. So, obviously in the draft, if we're going to look at, he got traded for the 3rd and 5th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll even do this like in the Robinson era. This is kind of a good way to look at it. I didn't think about it this way because you just look at 3rd and 5th round, you're like, that's nothing. That's
bag of chips and a Coke from Stephen A. Smith.
So obviously you're not going to draft somebody and be like, they're okay, like just an okay 5th round guy. You want your best 3rd round. So if we were to look at it for us, our best 3rd round pick was Kevin Byard. Our best 5th round pick right now, I guess the Robinson era is Jalen Brown. Would you trade Jalen Brown and Kevin Byard for Antonio Brown right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't think it's like a fair comparison because they're both like striking gold.
I know.
Because I think Stephen A. He said Martavius Bryant went to, the Raiders from the Steelers for a 3rd round pick, and then someone else for a 5th round pick. I think it's a credit to Antonio Brown for the simple sake of saying no to the Bills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
His trade values dropped, and I think his more important outcome is him playing for who he wants to play for.
Yeah.
But also him restructuring his deal. That's the one hiccup for the Titans. I think that's probably why they backed out. It's because they got him. He got paid.
Yeah, he did.
My thing is he did everything wrong.
Yeah.
Like he acted a complete fool.
Yeah.
And that mustache.
The blonde mustache and the hair
Looking
and
like a
just
walrus.
stupid videos and just saying dumb things, and he still comes out on top. So it just shows you like
Talent
Oh, you know,
outweighs
yeah.
talent outweighs the stupidity. I
Yeah.
hate to say it. Like I'm as a person, like he's just your typical diva, not very intelligent wide receiver,
Right.
but it worked out.
I think he's brilliant for the sake. Like, if you said a 3rd and a 5th this year, and I think he probably would have been a little bit more than that money. Maybe had a longer deal for less money per year, whatnot. But it's one of those things. I would have given those picks up. I wouldn't have given up those players per se.
Yeah, but the only reason I say that because they were just talking about you're not thinking of it's kind of like going to get a car. It's like I like this car. I hope it breaks down a couple times. It's kind of like how you look at your draft picks. You're like, all right, this is. I'm thinking I'm gonna get Kevin
Right.
Byard. I'm gonna get Jalen Brown. I mean these, and heck, Jarrell Casey was a 3rd round pick.
Right.
So it's one of those you expect yourself as these guys do their work and whatnot. Because I'm kind of like you guys. I'm like they don't always hit.
Yeah.
We also
Yeah.
drafted like Bleary Wilson in the 3rd round.
Right.
So it's
you're telling me
Yeah.
Bishop Sankey's not in the league anymore?
He's in the Alliance.
Is he?
Yeah.
Where?
I think he's playing in the Salt Lake team. I think.
I'm gonna get that jersey.
But
Miss you, buddy.
Bishop Sankey, Jake Locker, bring him back.
Yeah,
Turn it around.
man.
yeah.
That's like, it's funny. Someone said today, I think Jimmy Morris on Twitter was saying, people are saying 9-7 like it's an insult, and it's like, have you not lived through the last decade of Titans
Yes.
football? That period where we had Jake Walker, drafted Bishop Sankey, that was the depths of the low. Like, you cannot get worse than that. And especially if Jake Walker ends up, because of injuries or whatever happened with him, he quits. Bishop Sankey, we wasted a 2nd round pick on him. It's like, all right, the rebuild begins, But
Yeah.
that was a interesting time. But let me see a couple comments here. Craig Story says no, Byard is an all-pro, and he's younger, which is a good point.
Yeah.
Gavin Jones, this is not the season to draft a quarterback at all. Next
not.
year, the Titans need to draft, let's see, maybe next year, but this is the year that the Titans need to draft defense. This year,
yeah.
Jake Fromm next year.
Ooh,
I'm not sure if I got that, but
from.
speaking of, Titans need to go after Montez Sweat or a receiver.
I wish.
Oh my gosh, I would.
Sweat did
I
too
would
well in
go-
the combine.
Yeah,
but-
he's going to be gone top
Yeah,
10.
he's-
So
he's
before it, I was like, ooh, sneaky pick. Ja'Kai Polite was getting more love than Sweat.
No.
And now it's like
What
totally
did he run, like a
Sweat.
4.3 or 4.4 or something?
4.41.
He ran faster than OBJ and a couple other
Yeah.
receivers.
Julio Jones.
Yeah.
All
Oh my
those guys.
God. I mean, that's the thing.
260 boys.
Yeah,
you gotta
so
think-
it's 6'6", too. He's 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Mario Williams run like a 4.5 or something? Like
It was kind of a bust, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, 40s are great. And that's
Not
why
everything.
I love this time of
But if
year.
you watch the tape, though, I mean, Sweat,
Yeah.
Sweat was everywhere.
Yeah.
He just had a nose for
It
the
is.
ball.
It is fun to watch the freak athlete, especially now. Like these kids are
Yeah.
way more athletic than at some points. I mean, obviously you're still going to have your studs each and every year, but like top to bottom, I think it's better, more athletic.
If you just appreciate the athleticism of, like, we were watching a 260-pound, 6'5"
Human
man
being, yeah.
run at a wide receiver speed, it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Don't get in a fight with that guy.
Yeah.
Because if you run, he'll catch you at no time.
I think I always think about how long am I in the hospital for if I get hit by that guy?
Right.
I think about that a lot.
I'm just dead.
Like, what if I'm at the 35 of his 40?
How much would I have to pay you to put on pads and everything, and for Montez Sweat to be across the line, and he has 20 yards on it, he can get full speed and just
Ooh, that's a
obliterate.
big
Was it
number.
like there was some show? I can't remember what if it was like. It was just like Jackass or like
It
Fear
was.
Factor, where they would punt. Was it Jackass?
It was Jackass.
Jackass
Yeah.
did one with
Rugby players.
No, they did one with Jared Allen.
They did one with receiving punts too. Like they would let
I
you.
don't remember
Somebody
that.
was in the back and
I
you
think
could catch
Ben
punts
Margera.
and then take hits. And it was just like, How much? Yeah, how much would you have to get paid to
What's
do
your
that?
number?
Realistically, I'd probably say at least 10 to 15 grand.
I'd say
Yeah.
because you're looking at hospital bills. I'm sorry.
I mean, if,
Yeah,
wait.
and hospital bills.
I was gonna say, if hospital bills are taken care of, and then another 10 to 15 grand, I would do it.
Yeah.
I just have to have I have to have a mouthpiece, just like bear down and hold on.
I never ran with the ball, so I don't. I mean, I would be totally out of my element. So
It's funny. I played rugby, never got savagely hit in rugby, but I got hit one time. And if anybody, I don't know, I think my buddy Aiden knows him, but a guy named Carl Skyra is a tight end. We were doing tackling drills, and I was kind of like half-assing it or whatever, and took off. And this dude, he hit me so hard, I had to wipe snot out of my nose. It was like, oh, it's like, oh man, it was. If any chance that Kyle sees this, it's just funny, but I think he knows because I was probably just covered in like snot. But yeah, he
like, what did you do to
yeah,
that?
he rocked me.
yeah.
But yeah, 10 to 15, no doubt. But let's move on. Agree or disagree, which if anybody actually watches this consistently, you know what agree or disagree is. We're going to throw out a hot take.
Gavin Jones says $500, and I'm going to head with J.J. Watt.
We got to find. Go fund me or something.
Slide in the DMs right now with JJ Watt.
J.J. Watt, listen, dude, we've got a guy that believes for $500.
What? And speaking of outlandish $500 things, Antonio Brown was doing the. he would do like a voice message or a video message for anyone for $500.
Congratulations on your second anniversary.
Yeah.
Wedding.
So he was doing that leading up to the draft. That
Nice.
just show
Just
you.
burning some time and making some cash.
Anyways, agree, disagree. Where are we starting?
Oh man. Well, we did the first one kind of.
Yeah.
Let's take that one out.
Which one?
Let's do the third one. Agree or disagree? The Tennessee Titans missed out with Antonio Brown.
I'm so 50-50 on this.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna disagree. Just for the simple fact of the years, the amount of money, the guaranteed money. There's no question they missed out on a player.
yeah.
One of the best receivers in the past decade. But to me, I don't think they missed out because of the money.
Yeah. I think if we got him with the, was it 3 years, 36, I think I'd have been okay with that.
Yeah.
But with the restructuring and the $30 million guaranteed, it's
Yeah.
a lot.
It's a lot
I'm
of
gonna
cheddar to
disagree.
lock up on a receiver who's on the wrong side of 30. And he has the appearance of, I don't want to say cancer, but can cause some drama
That's
in the
what people
locker room.
I disagree with that. I disagree. Well, I agree with the point that we missed out because, man, production. The fact that I don't think people realize they look so much more at the situation that he's in right now. I know there's two sides to every story, and people were calling him a cancer. I disagree that there's always two sides. I don't know what Ben Roethlisberger's like to have on the locker room side of things. Mike Tomlin, how that plays into it, but obviously if you have a franchise quarterback and if you are winning games inconsistently like they were, there's some strife, but I think,
Yes, we missed out.
yeah, we missed
I
out.
said no, you say no?
Yeah, I'm going to say no. And
I
I'm-
have to use the restroom, guys.
Okay.
You can do it right now.
All right, agree or disagree? We'll save the Game of Thrones for him. Let's do the Cardinals are making a huge mistake if they take Kyler Murray first overall in this year's draft. Huge mistake.
I don't think so. And just situationally, I don't know. Like, I watched a lot of Oklahoma. I got some Oklahoma friends that they love it, so I kind of watch them just to take a peek. Kyler Murray's legit. Like, he can freaking spin it. He can make all the throws, and he is wow fast. Like video game speed. I don't know. It's one of those weird things. Like, I don't know how. I wouldn't be mad if the Titans ever got him, but for the Cardinals and Cliff Kingsbury, that dude is infatuated with him.
Yeah.
So, like, situationally for the Cardinals, I don't think it's a mistake because I think that new offense, obviously look what it did for Texas Tech back in the day and Patrick Mahomes, and I think Kyler Murray is the perfect fit for them. So it's one of those, like, you're looking for the right scheme, there he is. So
So
I disagree.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a big mistake. And it's less about Kyler Murray than it is about a guy like Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
I think pass rushers are slowly becoming the most valuable positions in football.
Yeah.
Simply because
passing is just such a big part.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the game now, and you got a guy like Aaron Rodgers, and especially for the Titans, like look at Andrew Luck. He's going to be around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that and especially the Cardinals already having Josh Rosen, I would risk that, the difference in those two players. And Kyler's fun to watch. He's like a video game Michael Vick from Madden 2000 or whatever it was. But I think Nick Bosa, just watching his film, I know Brian Baldinger with NFL Network does his Baldy breakdowns on Twitter and Instagram. And it's just awesome to see what he can do. He's a lot bigger than I think people realize.
Yeah.
Same size as his brother, basically. I think he's a little bit bigger, but I think pass rushers are so valuable right now that you gotta pass on Kyler Murray, take a pass rusher.
I don't want to say huge mistake. I think it's a mistake just for the fact that they haven't seen what Rosen can do yet.
Right.
And I think
they were bad last year too.
They were really
and
bad.
To judge his tape off of that, it's just like
it's a rough year all around for the Cardinals last year. Even David Johnson, the running back that everyone puts towards the top up there with Le'Veon Bell's and Todd Gurley's, he had a really off year last year. So it's just something offensively as a whole was really wrong with that team last year.
But we talked about too. I mean, we had listed out the Raiders, what they got for AB and for Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper. People want to say that's a great, you got a huge amount of picks on
all those first rounders.
But Khalil Mack, man, he's a different level.
MVP.
Yeah, I mean he basically put the Bears in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Some of his highlights where he's just given that one forearm shiver kind of thing or whatnot. It's just it's unbelievable how valuable he is.
I want to think I don't want to put Rosen in the house. That's not my thing. Because obviously Jared Goff showed us that if you judge a guy for 1 year, you're making
their first year,
humongous mistake.
Especially when you're just tossed.
When you're thrown into one of the worst teams I've ever. The Cardinals are horrendous. So especially they don't. Larry Fitzgerald, and then I don't know if they have John Brown. I don't know who they have. It's just a bad lineup, and you can't judge the guy. But it's just one of those. The only reason I think that is just it's the perfect fit for Cliff Kingsbury and them, and I know how much he loves them. And so it's one of those if it's the perfect fit, it works.
Yeah.
So take us home with the last one.
Oh, you guys waited.
I waited on the game.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. For anyone watching Game of Thrones, or you're rewatching or watching for the first time, spoiler alert: we're going to be talking about season 8 of Game of Thrones. And if you're not caught up, we don't want to spoil anything for you because it is the best show ever. But agree or disagree, and my brother, who's probably I'm trying to get to watch, just jumped back on. Anyways, agree or disagree, if Daenerys Targaryen dies in season 8 of Game of Thrones, then the entire show is a wash. Am I the only one right here?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes! Well, you can't just throw this whole show out because one person...
I'm saying...
If we've learned anything, it's the person that you like the most that he's going to kill off.
No.
I.e. Ned Stark, off the rib.
Season 1, you know.
You're the only good guy in the whole realm? Okay, your head's gone.
But look, Lost was one of the best shows to the date ever.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen Lost?
I'm not I know of it, but I'm not
the finale was awful. Awful.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, Breaking Bad had a really good ending.
The last season or just the last episode?
Well, the last 2 or 3 seasons were just kind of what do we do? And then come to find out, it was the showrunners wanted to cancel the show, but ABC was let's milk this thing. It's
all about
the
money.
story went into time travel.
They had to it's one of those shows it had to get weirder and step up its game, and then it got to a point it's we make this
too far.
Sci-fi's got a channel right over here too,
right.
So it's oh my gosh, man.
So here's my thing: that finale. Looking back, and we were talking about A Star Is Born. Once it gets to a certain point, you want to stop.
Yeah.
That show. I love Game of Thrones. I'm trying to make disciples. We had one of our friends, Audrey, watch it, and she's loved it. Her brother's now watching it, and I'm trying to get my brother to watch it. I'm just thinking Daenerys, for what she's gone through, going from
sold into slavery.
You were when you were a baby, someone tried to kill you. You fled to Marine or wherever she went, goes through all that stuff, helps all these slaves. They choose to follow her. Dragons, the whole 9 yards. And then for the cliche, like, she's in the theories are die in childbirth to Jon Snow's baby. It's like, guys, Padme Amidala died in childbirth. Like, how many times are we going to redo this thing?
Don't you badmouth Padme.
Yeah. I mean, she died her way. Let's have Daenerys actually like, fight and get burnt alive. And if she does die, make it a...
She doesn't burn alive. She can't get burned.
Well, I mean... Get stabbed to death. Get the Hodor treatment or whatever it is. I'm just thinking there is the potential that, like... And apparently all the people on the show are just saying the ending of this thing is, like, shocking and mind-boggling. Yeah. And, of course, that's probably
Brianna Tarth said we were going to need help after this.
Wow.
Brianna Tarth, the actress, said that we will all need therapy.
Awesome. Can't wait.
I was like, I'm...
It's coming up soon, right?
I know.
April what, 14th? Is that it?
Yeah, April 14th, and that's all that matters to me right now. Like, yeah. I'm thinking, like, all right, so here comes this movie. Like, we were talking about Captain Marvel. Here's this event, but all that matters is
So, the same weekend, guys. Think about this. Thursday.
Give me a sec. You gotta pee?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give you this rundown. Thursday night, first round of the draft. Friday, Captain America.
Oh, the new Captain America?
Yeah, Saturday we'll be celebrating my birthday in Nashville. Sunday, Game of Thrones, largest battle in the history of any theatrical thing ever.
Right, that's episode 3, right?
That's episode 3.
That's the rumor.
So that's your weekend.
Bigger than Battle of the
largest
Masters.
continuous battle scene ever.
Yeah, that's your weekend, boys.
But here's my question, and for anybody who's seen the trailer, what do y'all think Arya's running from? Go for it. Go for it.
Two-faced little finger.
All right.
I think you're gonna wrap it up.
Do you want? I mean, if you want to roll,
I mean,
go ahead.
Talk about it.
Go ahead. Fire away. It's our podcast. We can do whatever you want to.
I have a theory that Arya is running from a White Walker version of Catelyn Stark. Because in the books, there was Lady Stoneheart who was Catelyn Stark. And if you're sitting there, and here's the thing, in this Battle of Winterfell is episode 3.
Yeah.
You see Varys in the crypts, Jon Snow and Daenerys walk down the crypts. So the crypts, they're trying to, rumors have it, they're trying to parallel it to season 1.
Yeah.
Robert Baratheon and Cersei come and all that stuff, and then Jon and Daenerys come. But think if, I don't know why, I don't think Arya would be hiding in the crypts mid-battle, but if she goes down there, think about, she's an assassin. What the heck is going to scare her that much?
Yeah.
To see her running and breathing and panting like that. It's got to be
the shock and awe factor.
Somebody.
It's somebody she doesn't want to kill. Because she'll still have a little bit of feeling. Yeah. That's a sound theory.
Dude. Think about how terrified you would be if your deceased relative... I said, what if Arya is running from a White Walker version of Catelyn Stark in the crypts? Because you know she's down there.
Yeah.
Robb Stark's down there. I mean, what if Ned Stark's decapitated.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. My brother just said, I'll start Game of Thrones tonight. Sorry.
That's good, Matt.
Yeah.
About, 8 years late?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
It's all right, buddy.
About 30
Better late than ever.
Yeah. Anyways.
You're going to have to work.
I'm all for it.
You're all for that?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Sound theory.
It's going to be hard to... I mean, she's really well trained now. It's going to be hard to...
scared.
But
and she's not scared.
What would terrify her that much?
You. Seeing you.
Probably
Montez
Sweat.
Montez Sweat around the corner.
I would probably piss my pants. It's okay.
All right. Been a fun show. We're back in it. We're going to be consistently back at
this we're doing this.
You going to Dublin anytime soon?
No.
Give you next trip. I'm not buying any house.
Vegas in May.
Yeah.
That's my next trip.
All right, y'all. Thanks a lot for joining this week. Chat 10 Sports. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere else. Have a great rest of your week. Go Titans, go Vols.
Yep.
Screw UNC.